Welcome, everybody. This is episode 7 of the Collective Sessions with Marcus and the Cold Weather Kids. Say hello, boys.
Hello!
Woo! So let's just jump right into this bad boy episode. Tell us your name and where you guys are from.
I guess I'll start. I'm Eric.
Go for it.
I'm living in Los Angeles, playing drums for Cold Weather Kids. Grew up in Colorado. Just lost Adam there. And that Colorado background solidified me as a member of the Cold Weather Kids, as you will soon find out why.
Eric, the most interesting man in the world, Eric Matthews, or Eric Williams, sorry. Never mind that his name's on the screen and I call it the wrong name. I'm from Michigan. Ryan's from Wisconsin. We're Midwestern boys. Eric's from Colorado and Texas, and we all grew up in really cold climates.
We had winter.
So, yeah, the name just kind of came out of itself. Ryan thought of that.
No, Eric thought of the name.
Really?
Yeah, Eric got the name.
I was sitting at my desk at work, I think, and I was like just thinking about us, because I think about us a lot, and then I was like, and then I just like texted, and I was like, our band is Cold Weather Kids, and then
We were like,
And I really liked it.
You just you elevated just like.
It was just a phone call actually after Eric and I guess Adam's previous project dissolved, and I was talking to Eric about it, and he was just like, "Nah, man, I already quit." And I was like, "Okay, next question, moving right on. Do you still want to keep playing music?" And he's like, "Hell yeah!" And so we just took time with it. And then we approached Adam about it, and Eric, I guess, kind of had it as a code name or and I was just all about it. Actually, I was like, "No, it's great." There's Cold War Kids, that electronic artist or something like that, but
they're indie folk. And there's so many.
See how far off I am with that.
Oh, you guys are Cold War Kids, and I'm like, no, we're not. But we'll take fan base. That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's interesting. No, I have to say, out of the last few years of doing this, me and Lisa, we like to run down some of the most craziest names, and the Cold Weather Kids is one of them. Crazy and cool. And there was one time we were kicking it on the couch, and
okay,
I said a pun, and I used a band name, and she looked at me, and then she used your guys' name back at me as a pun, and I looked at her. I was like, "Are we doing this right now?" She's like, "All right." So do it for 10-15 minutes back and forth, just saying the dumbest stuff, but using bands within the collective their names, and she was laughing, and it was really cool. It was super funny. I'm probably gonna mess around with her again. That's something I would probably love to try and implement within these these Zoom podcasts. Is when we're together to do that, because it was so funny, and it was very unexpected. She just said it just to talk, and I looked at her, and me being me, I'm a dick sometimes, so I'll just chomp back at her, and she's like, really, okay, if you asked, you asked for it. And we'll go back and forth, but it's pretty cool. Cold Weather Kids is definitely one of those names I say would sticks and it goes the distance. It's not your name is stuck to being a lot of bands will have a name, and you don't see that name really going far. Yeah, he's looking good. All right, I love it.
I've arrived.
There's some names that you look and you're like, oh, that's a garage band. They're, kind of whatever. It's not going to go anywhere. Cold Weather Kids, I could see something like that real big, and it's just like Eric's little background, just like that.
Starts there, man. And that's the good thing about it is I don't know, when you're younger, and I think all of us have been, part of bands when we were younger, we're way more ignorant about names of stuff, I remember actually, for a hot second, probably early to mid 2000s, was really into the Devil Wears Prada. Mm-hmm. And they have, I think it's the album Plagues that actually, I think now that I listen to it, this sounds awful. It's not edited well at all. But the names of the songs are all John, what's your name again? Assistant to the Reach, really, really weird names. Yeah. And then 2 albums later, there was an interview with them. It's yeah, that was really dumb. Just totally calling themselves out for it. It's nah, that wasn't cool. It's nobody nobody knows anything like what the significance of that is here and there.
Yeah, like a lot of bands had that thing. Like there was so much angst and just just teenage rebellion and stuff. So it's like just to be kind of like quirky and have names like that. Like Devil Wears Prada definitely is one of those bands. Fall Out Boy was very
Fall Out Boy
known
started
for
the
that.
trend. Didn't Fall Out Boy start the trend? Because
Well,
everybody got from under the cork tree, and we were all like, "The fuck are these names?
I
The
know,
hell is
totally.
this shit?"
Dude, yeah, man. Like I remember, like I was like,
You're totally right. I didn't really
names
think
are
of that.
long, and
Yeah.
I never like you couldn't tell me like, oh, like let's listen to this song of Fall Out Boy, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like just
Right.
play the song. I know the words. We're good to go. You know, it's like but it was cool. Like it was cool at that time, that point in life, and then like you said, you fast forward to now, and you look back and you're like, oh man, like what were we thinking? What were they thinking? You know, it's crazy. But like I like to see like bands mature with their songs, the song titles, and some bands have even actually gone under like different like names for themselves, and so I think it's cool. Like I've known a few bands in the scene that have done that, and for me personally, I'm like, oh, that's all right. I don't see why you did it, but they like to take themselves a little more professional, or they would like to look like at least well, no, just professional is the word. I said, hey, your name was fine with me. I don't know why you guys felt weird about it. Oh, we didn't want people to feel weird. And I'm like, well, now you're making people feel weird by changing your name and your sound and whatever. But
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I was totally in a band that did that too. Like I was in a hardcore band as a drummer for 6 years, and we had songs that were called "Life Without Bears Would Be Unbearable." I Stole My Belt from Orion. I can't remember any other ones, but yeah, those are two notable ones. But like that had nothing to do with the song title.
yeah,
Of course,
Yeah.
you know.
you have a really weird like song title, and then the whole song itself is like, oh wow, like who hurt
You're
him?
so deep.
Yeah,
Say
so
this
Yeah.
song again.
I know. I think I did that too. I had some friends in middle school, and we were trying to be cool, and God,
You a Family Guy fan?
yeah.
This song's called "Water." My hair is growing.
Gosh, freaking Family Guy.
Hilarious.
I'm remembering now that band name was oh God, like these dudes were metalheads, and you had me who was like, oh yeah, I listen to a little bit of metal, but then like I had very like deep like pop influence from like my mom and my dad's side, you know, and it was really weird, and we're over here like looking tough, long dicky shorts, tight t-shirts, and called ourselves Exiled Angels.
Woo!
that's a hot one. Like not a lot of people know that. And then when I would talk about it, they're like, "Are you serious?" And like there'd be like this really old like burnout photo, and they're like, "Who? Like, let me guess which one's you." I'm the one that had the really long one-sided bang, and I'm just looking real pissed and just. It was a really bad time. I'm glad there's only one photo that exists, and now it doesn't exist at all. So,
Yeah.
but
Did we even
I
answer the
actually
question?
just did that like last week. I went through Facebook and like deleted a bunch of like photos from college that I was like, oh no.
oh no, I think Eric was the only one that got through to it. He did his little introduction, and then we kind of like.
And then
dove in.
Adam is like, I grew up in Michigan, and you know, his name's Adam. He plays guitar. I did that for him because he went on a tangent. My name's Ryan, and I play bass, or I try to play bass. I play enough bass. That's a bass, I think.
Like one of those.
Yeah, you know, I play that instrument.
But yeah, that's our little CWK. It's like almost like the WB. I like it. It sounds like a nice little ring. CWK.
Yep.
I love
Um,
CWK.
And we're gonna like, even though he's not with us, we'll give love to our boy Chris Savinia, who's you know, obviously dealing with a little bit more corona struggles right now. He's like currently moving homesteads for just video purposes anyways, but he was very much a part of the EP process. He's on multiple tracks, things like that, so we still, you know, couldn't really have made the whole thing without him, and wish you were here.
No, absolutely. He's here in spirit. Definitely in
Yeah.
spirit. So yeah, let's rock this out. So I'm getting kind of like a vibe of how you guys put yourselves together, but just to call it out, how did you guys meet? Like, were you guys friends before the band, or like did music really bring you guys together, or how'd that come about?
Adam wants this one. He's ready. Go.
I'm ready. So Ryan and I met in Chicago, and we had another band in Chicago, and we started writing music sophomores in college, something
Yeah.
like that, juniors in college. Yeah, like almost 10 years ago, we started writing music together, and we were making stuff, and he was already recording a record, and he was like, I need a guitar player, and I was like, great, I'll play guitar for you. And then he was like, what kind of music are we doing? And I was like, I love emo pop punk. And Ryan was like, you're gonna fit in just fine.
Yes.
And so yeah, and then I ended up going to the studio and recording guitar, and then we were both like, I guess this is our band now. And that's like kind of how it started. And then like years go by, and the band kind of breaks up, goes through some changes, and it's really still just Ryan and I writing songs and singing together.
Dude, quick thing for that one, that band that Adam's talking about, 3 of the songs on this EP originated from that band.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, which brings us to the title, Songs We Can't Finish.
Okay.
Yeah, because
That's how fucking old they are.
right, because it's hilarious. Yeah, they've been
Gave you the
around for a long
context.
time.
10 years. Like, Sorry for Yourself is about ex-girlfriends from 8-7 years ago, and both of us are married now. So
I mean, is it really a pop punk emo band without the breakup?
it's true.
Yeah,
you gotta
sometimes
have
I
that
just
there.
get in fights. Sometimes I just get in fights with my wife for material.
You're like, just come at me,
I
man.
just want to feel something, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, write a good
Yeah.
song later.
You're like, the band needs one more from me, okay? One more.
That's it.
So
That's awesome.
so then Ryan moves to Los Angeles because he wanted to be with his now wife Zara, and then I moved to Los Angeles following about a year later. We were like, oh, what are we gonna do? Like fast forward, I joined a band, and then I quit that band.
This is
And
hilarious.
what was that?
This is funny. I'm giving it context because he's getting to the really good part now, which is really fucked up.
Well, here, why don't I just say this? I joined a band here in LA, and Eric was the drummer, and Ryan, take it from there.
Yeah. So that was right as I was getting married. In fact, I went on my honeymoon, and Adam texts me, and he's like, "Yo, so I joined a band, and I don't want to be tough or anything like that, but that doesn't really mean that I'm looking to build what we were doing in Chicago because I joined a band." And I was like, okay, that's cool. I just got married. I can focus, I'm doing stuff like that. We're still be recording together and all that stuff. And we did. We kept it going the whole time. And the band was called Water District. And then I would say about fast forward 8 months or maybe a little bit longer,
But
their bass player quits. I'd never played bass before in my life. I very quickly bought a bass and an amp, and I was like, hey, can I play? I joined. Adam quit 2 weeks later. And we can, because won't really get into it because it's not really our business here to speak for a person that's not really here, but we just had creative differences with the then lead singer and still did. So I was so stoked to be back in a band that I really stuck it out. I ignored the yellow flags that kept on popping up and then soon to be red flags because I got to know Eric better, and Eric was a drummer that drummed like me. And so that was friendship right away because I played with other drummers before, but sometimes I tend to hit pretty hard and play a little bit more enthusiastically. And Eric is the same way. So I was like, I can play bass for you any day of the week, man. This is awesome. So I got really, really good connection with him. We played for a while. We got the opportunity actually 2 years ago to perform at NAMM back in Anaheim, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, we started to have major problems in terms of just trying to put out an EP. And I had walked into the band basically having this EP done that Adam recorded 80% of the guitars to, and he's not in the band anymore. So I'm making these music videos for singles in an EP that Adam had recorded and quit, and I'm miming them. I'm just inserted myself as the new bass player, and we ended Eric and I ended up like dissolving that, quitting, and then because Adam was like wanted nothing to do with him, and I was like, all right, well, if we're gonna keep playing music, it's like we're a three-piece now. Let's just be a three-piece with Adam and call it something new. And that was really what it came to. And we already had a solid start because Adam and I had those sessions and songs back from college that we had always wanted to record on a higher level because both of us got into like audio production. Adam much more so. I'm more so like I'll make a clean demo for an idea's sake, and then I'll hand it off to Adam to make sound like a motherfucking badass record.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's
And so
awesome.
that's like I think I did pretty good. 3-minute version of it.
Yeah, solid.
That's awesome.
Thanks for joining us, Eric. We'll
Yeah.
see you later.
No, there's more questions. He's gonna field some.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
more
no.
You can
questions.
start the
He's
next
gonna-
question. You can
Yeah.
start the next question, buddy. All
Yeah,
right,
we're
Mark,
gonna-
go
We're
again.
gonna quickly steal it from you.
Yeah.
I still remember the meeting we had like, right after we left another band, and just kind of almost like the damaged lover kind of a vibe when we were in Ryan's house, like talking and being like, okay, like, are we gonna be in a band? Like, last one was kind of weird. Like, is this really gonna be a thing? And then like you were both married. I was engaged to Lexi at that point, and then all of them were like, of course you guys are gonna be a band. Go be a band. Like, you guys are meant to do this band. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's do this band. And then I think we all sat there at the table and tossed around what was the 5 songs that are now on that EP.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot
Like
about
this.
that meeting. That was
Yeah,
cool.
Like that. And
Well,
so that was
yeah.
kind of cool. It all stemmed from that little table read, if you will. So
That's cool because it's like, you know, there's not that many people that can be like in a band like such as a story like yours and can sit down and really like, hey, like we're like I don't want to say it, but at the same time I will. It's like we're destined to do this. Like we've gone through so much.
Oh yeah.
You know, all 3 of you separately have done something to where now you got to be a band to today, and it's like, okay, we've done the recordings, we have these songs we've done, you know, we've gone through all this trial and error with other bands or whatever the situation is. Like, are we really going to hang up the mantle? And a lot of bands just do that. Like, I've seen some really good bands during this quarantine, even right up before it, who had these nice hot streaks. Nothing against them, but they had these hot streaks, and then all of a sudden it's like the juices just stopped flowing, the creativity just stopped, and it's like, well, you know, I didn't know, or like we lost a member or something like that, and it's like, but you guys have such like anyone in like will have such a really good talent, or they're very multi-talented, and it's like you can do this, but it's the drive. And honestly, I think it comes really down to like if you have like a band like a 3-piece band, and let's say one of them pops off, and then you got 2 of you, and you're looking at each other like, well, are we gonna do this, or I don't know. Like, I feel like if there's more than just one person, you kind of have you're one another's like support system, and it helps you navigate through questions and feelings like that a little bit better. And then when you finally go to that next step, it's a lot easier than what you thought it would have been. So it's really cool to see to have the chance to see you guys before all this went down, and to hear the backstory a little bit, because me and Lisa have got to meet you guys, and
It was awesome seeing you in Pomona, by the way, that random show.
Hey, Pomona, it was so cool. Like
It was a good show too. That was
it
one of our
was
favorites.
a bunch of friends of mine. I want to say it was a birthday of one of theirs, and we met at the brewery that was across the street from there.
Mhm.
And I actually, the 2 bands that were on that bill, Average Joe and Strange Trip, they had booked me to do some work for them. I'm like, okay, cool. And I saw the fly because the Average Joe sent it to me. They're like, hey, yeah, this is how it's gonna be. This and this. Meet us here at this time. I'm like, okay, cool. I saw the flyer and I'm like,
Yeah, that smile.
I was like, no way. And he was like, yeah, what's up? And I'm like, I know like 95% of this lineup, and like this lineup is badass. And he was like, oh, really? I'm like, you're gonna see a different. You're like, we're just meeting, but you're gonna see some serious like energy from me. And
Woo.
lines out real quick. Yeah, that's better. I'm like, you're gonna see a whole energy, a whole vibe from me. And they're like, oh yeah, for sure. Like, we're down with whatever. And I told Lisa, and she freaked out. I can't remember what was going on that night, but she completely cleared her schedule. It was supposed to be going out, and she's like, nope, cleared her schedule. we went out. We met with some friends. I think we were there for like maybe 20 minutes or so, and we told them, hey, like there's a show that's DBA, this and this and that. And when we had you guys play at CIA, I had brought my best friend to that show. I said, hey, like this is gonna be a really like cool lineup. You guys should check this out. And that's when you guys had sent me. I think it was you, Eric. You emailed me a live performance, and I showed him. I said, you guys you gotta check him out. And the rest of like the group of friends I had, they're like, okay, for sure. They kind of like trickled in, but
Okay.
his name's Zach. Zach was like, wait, Cool Weather Kids, like that band in CIA, right? Like in LA, like the one with like the light show and everything. I'm like, yeah. He goes, oh yeah, let's get it. Like he was amped. He was amped, and, and like just like me, like the goosebumps. And I'm like, dude, it's for real. Like this is awesome. And we also had a show at Five Star Bar, and I didn't know he was gonna go there. I did not know he was gonna come to that show. And him and our friend Aaron showed up. I was having a real bad day. We were in bad traffic. I was trying to get to the show, and I'm like, okay, it's all
the
good.
taco stand outside that bar was really awesome.
Yes, that we were
It
there
was
for
really
2 shows.
loud. It was a really loud venue, cool venue, but it's so loud.
Unfortunately, like that loud. Like I remember, we'd only done shows there twice. Like we were supposed to do like 4, but it didn't work out that way. Lisa's like, no, this ain't the move. And like we got there, and Lisa just kept telling me, she's like rubbing my shoulder, babe, relax. Like it's gonna be okay. Cool Weather Kids are playing. We're gonna have a good time. And I was like, you're right. Let's do this thing. And I got in there, and like I saw you guys playing pool, and then I look over to my right, and my friend Zach and Aaron are there, and I'm like, oh gosh, like this could not be the best night ever. Like it's gonna be a good night. And you guys are. Lisa started using this word like theatrical, like in a very good way. And
No, I love it. I'm very dramatic.
I say, because she says you're very theatrical. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, if I could pick anyone else, like I feel like the energy is definitely you guys, like in the utmost respect. And like, because when I say theatrical, someone looks at me like, oh, I'm very dramatic, like in a bad way. I'm like, no, like being very theatrical or just theatrical in general is a very positive thing, because you guys are not just musicians, you're performers. Each and every one of you perform so beautiful. Like I'm telling you, like, gosh, like we can't get over it. Like I remember I'm taking pictures of Eric, and Eric's over, like it was funny, like Eric's drumming, and like from the corner of his eye, he sees me taking pictures, kind of turns around to some goofy, flips the drumsticks and gets back, and I'm like, dude, that's, gosh, like I don't know, like I said, I keep saying goosebumps. And I'll come back to the front, and you guys did I think you guys closed out with MCR, and
Yeah.
like Lisa can't, like both of us, but like Lisa really emphasizes, she goes, like Ryan and Adam's voices, like they just back and forth, and I'm like, they sing very beautifully. Like I can't really, I don't know what other way to talk about it. Like you guys have all these key elements that like I've seen bands have it, and they like and with all due respect, like not drop the ball, but like slip through the cracks. So yeah, slip through the cracks and things happen. But like you guys just you guys have it, and you've honed you've owned your craft. And it's amazing to see again that you guys are still doing this thing, and you're enjoying it, and you're making the best of it. Because I've always been curious, and people have asked me too, like, hey, how are you handling things throughout this quarantine? And I'm like, hey man, I'm trying to figure it out. So to see that you guys are still together, to see the guys are still doing music, and that's what I'll jump into next. It's very exciting, and the anticipation is it's very unreal on our end right now. I haven't shown anybody other than my one friend that came by, but like I've told people like, hey, like you remember this band that I showed you, or like you came to see it at the at a collective show, and they're like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, they're dropping an EP. They're like, say less. Like just let's get this. And I'm like, yeah, like so just so you guys know, like it's a big deal. Like you guys have a specific sound that's just so awesome, man. Like I don't want to just say it's just pop punk and emo music, but like you guys are a band that's this, and this is like a whole new lingo I've learned. Like when people are saying like no cap, it's like you guys aren't boxed into a genre. Like you guys are very, like I said, theatrical, very outgoing, and just you just play music. yeah, I'm pop punk, emo, but you guys have all these different elements that make you go past that, just those two genres. And not a lot of bands do that. So for the fact that you guys can do that, and maybe you guys do rattle your brains a little bit, but when you're playing and you're performing, it it's amazing. Like I get to a point where I start just mumbling up words, but no, it's just amazing. I'll leave it right there. But so
Super gratitude, man. Thanks for having us.
oh, absolutely. I'm glad we can start it off with you guys right here. We did an episode, welcome back, and then I took a break, and Lisa's like, you really just gonna say welcome back on a podcast and just take another break? I'm like, hey.
That's how they do it in the biz.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta
Seamless transition. I was here the whole time. You don't know that.
So let's dive into it. Songs we can't finish. What's up with it?
Oh man. So order is specific. If you want to know a tidbit about that, the songs that came from Eric are "Life at the Top" and "Holding On," and "Sorry for Yourself" is the breakup song that Adam and I wrote in college. All three of those songs are in drop D, which is why none of those songs are right next to each other. The other two are not. So that's specifically why it's ordered that way, is because stupid like musician ear kind of thing that I have. If I hear like a song end and the next song start, it's in the same key, that's the first thing that I'll notice. And for whatever reason, it takes away from the individual song, whatever's next. It's like I want to reset the palette, new key kind of thing, new song, new idea. So that's one thing about it. The other thing is that what's pretty cool is that there's another guy that has recorded on this, and he's overseas in Amsterdam. He's my buddy Callum. So he laid down some background vocals on this when he was here, and you saw him perform with us in Pomona.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. That's and that was like Chris like left for a little bit, and then he actually did come back. He did a couple practices before COVID hit, and that was the last time we all were together, I believe, from that point. And songs are finished at that point, but that's what I have individually about it. The background, the cover art and stuff like that is actual scribbled out song lyrics from Adam and I's literally like college notebooks and stuff like that, just crumpled together, and I took a picture of it.
Wow.
And then it's the logo and the sticker.
I like that. It's pretty cool. You guys definitely have a color scheme going on, and it fits you guys really well.
My phone's gonna die.
Oh no!
He's like, I'm trying to find a shot. Yeah. He's like, maybe not. We'll find out. No, but
going with the color scheme you're talking about, I think that's a big testament to Ryan. He handled sort of the vision for that. Same thing with the light show, like you say, we're a very theatrical band. I think a lot of that credit has to go to him. He learned all of that crazy lighting stuff through that old band, actually.
Really?
Doing shows.
Yeah, it's like I'll call it a silver lining that way. Like even if we had differences with the old lead singer, like he did really push me to like okay, you do a lot of different things. If you've got the technological ability to do it and you want to figure it out, like, can we add lights? And he like he'd already found products that I didn't know about. He just put them in front of me and like pointed me in the direction of like, learn it, because I don't want to take the time to do it myself. So I ended up learning it. And so like when we perform, like the tracks that we have, like for anything that like, layered piano, bells, synths or stuff like bass drops, which adds that live element, and the fact that Eric can play to a click that goes perfectly with our light show. All of that was like a giant discovery that we kind of felt, or at least I kind of look at it, it needed to happen that way, because that's actually what allows us to be so polished as a three-piece for Cold Weather Kids and sound that full. Is like we're tight. We've got the bells and whistles, like the lights with the timing and stuff like that. And follow Eric, who plays solid pocket and he's playing to a click. That means that our tempo is steady every time,
Yeah.
So like those kind of things are experiences that we've gained from past bands. And then, the songs that we can't finish, it's like, Adam.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm like, will somebody answer the man's question?
We did. I did. I went like literally about. It's like the songs that we can't finish. Adam.
He did.
How many lineups that we've played those songs with? Like Out of Sight has been played with like 4 different drummers.
Oh, okay.
Shaken was at one point written for a girl vocalist. What else? Sorry for Yourself had a crazy long intro. Hi, Morty. How you doing?
Hey, I'll say this though, Shaken. If that was what it was meant to be,
Here's my cold weather pup.
the cold weather pup, the big beautiful dog. Hey, you made Shaken sound awesome though. You guys really did. Like the lights, you guys stepped it up. Like honestly, when you guys had a look and when you guys were walking around CIA, like it's so stupid. Like me, Lisa, and my friends we're over here like, oh shit, like these guys are next step, the next level. We gotta look.
We're
We gotta
checking
look.
them out.
Yeah, we gotta look cool, man. And meanwhile, you guys are over here like, all right, about to play the show. Let's do this gig. Let's get it. And you guys are setting up. And right when you started, you had these lights. And Lisa's like, they got lights. Like, is that? I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's all of them. We'll just see what happens. Bam, instant flash. And I'm like, okay, like. At this point, every single band that plays after this show has to have this energy. I will not accept anything below. Like this is the energy you guys had was unmatched. Like bouncing around, vocals are on point. You got okay. So the cool thing about the very first show, I was immediately drawn because like for myself, I'm in the process of trying to. I want to learn a couple instruments. I want to start off with like bass, and then Lisa's over here like learn drums. Like there's so many people you can learn from, and you can just take notes from. I'm like, okay. So CIA is happening, and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay. There's only 3 drummers during the collective where I'm like, okay, these like if I had to like categorize which drummers who are like on top, and again, after seeing these drummers. Every drummer after that has to have that same energy. Okay, you immediately like honestly, number 1 is Eric. Okay, I don't see anyone that has energy like that. Like you okay, you're playing, you're zoning, you're vibing you're playing a show. You know you're playing a show, and then maybe there's a couple people that walk by, or you're like how you said or how I said you noticed me taking pictures. You're just, I think it's so talented, and maybe it's nothing. It's no big deal, but like you're playing. Especially when you're playing hard and fast and you're looking over and you're like, hey, what's up? I'm just goofing, just drummer goofing over here, not even looking. I'm good. Like, and I'll make a stupid face, whatever. Like, it's so cool. Like, I think it's like, oh my God, he's playing the drums, but also he's goof. Like his face is just in a whole other like mind space right now. It's crazy. And then I have 2 other drummers. Like they come up right after that. Like I knew a guy who. I've known him like a long time, even before the collective started. And I'm like, dude, like your drumming's amazing, this and this and this. And then like he caught you guys. I was recording you guys on Instagram. He was like, holy shit. Like, he's like, I gotta go to that show. And they were actually on the same bill. Now that I think about it, Half Measure. I want to say they played before you guys.
Yeah.
Like they could not stop.
He's awesome.
Like
I saw that star. That was amazing.
Dude, it's so crazy because they're so crazy talented, but at the same time, like they'll look at everybody, and especially like AJ, like the drummer, he'll look and he goes, "Oh man, I'm like shit." He's like, "I suck." I'm like, "Dude, no, you're like really good, but like Eric's really good too. Like maybe you guys should talk." like don't think that way. Don't ever think like, "Oh, like I suck. Like I can't talk to this guy or anything like that." It's just crazy. Like I said, you guys have a lot to offer, and you guys. Like I feel like you guys know that you have a lot to offer, but at the same time, you don't get too cocky about it. Like you're here to play music, you're here to have fun, and
I think we all had our cocky phase in previous bands. Maybe I can't speak for the other 2, but I certainly did. Dude, in the hardcore band, we did the Warped Tour thing. Like I was up there as like a 21-year-old. Now I'm 31. You know, it's like
you did that.
Yeah, I did that. Where it's like I walked around like I was better than everybody, and let me tell you, it's pretty stupid. I mean, but that's hindsight. That's maturity, and it is what it is. Because it's like, if I would have kept that act up, these 2 stellar musicians wouldn't have wanted a thing to do with me. They would have never ever wanted to write songs with me at all if I would have kept that shit up. So
hey, it's better than being a random dude in the crowd that bought a ticket to go to Warped Tour thinking he's hot shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's
just like... that was me. Like almost every single Warped Tour until it was my last one, and Oh, I fucked my shit up. I was crowd surfing. I got dropped, and I was like, yeah, I'm not that cool. They didn't carry that out for me, so kind of like, so it's cool that you guys mentioned a little earlier ago that the three songs that you guys all wrote that you've separated. I'm like, those are all, I mean, and I've listened to Out of
Those are what
Sight
the
and
newer
Shaken.
ones. Yeah.
Yes, the three newer ones. Like I love Shaken and Out of Sight. Like those are two of my favorite ones. I mean, Lisa loves Out of Sight. I love, and then Shaken's hers. Excuse me, but to see to hear the other three, like she knew of the last track, but she was like, oh, like sometimes it's new to her, so she's like, okay, oh, excuse me, she's like, okay, this is good. Like they're doing really good. They sound amazing. Like they haven't lost their touch. Like they're just on point. And I'm like, yeah, but they play, and I'm so geeky. I'm like, yeah, but like we've seen them play these songs before, and they're brand new, and they've never been released. Like this is really cool. And she's like, okay, like I get it, Marcus, but just like she tries to keep me in point. She's over here like, don't geek out. I'm like, I won't geek out. I'm cool. And like I'll see you guys in person, or like you guys will message, and I'm like, oh my god, it's cool with the kids. Oh, like this is cool. And she's like, whatever, just do it. Have your fun. No, she gets like that with bands too, but it's
Cool. I think it's really
yeah.
actually really awesome to know that, because we used to have conversations like as a band, kind of debating on crowd enticement. You know, it's like we want to pull the crowd in when we play. How do we do that as an audience who has no idea who we are besides a few people? Play some covers. So it's like we've actually like debated like playing a set of mostly covers, and then when we have the audience be like, hey, is it okay if we play like one of our songs, and if you really like it, go check it out, and like, you know, discuss. I don't think we've ever done that, but we've discussed doing it. And
Yeah.
just hearing you say like you get super pumped and like you could recognize it is helping me put like more faith in like our original music, rather than trying to lean on covers to draw in the crowd at shows. You know.
absolutely. We're gonna chime in with Adam.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's a great way to maximize the amount of people like caring about the original songs, because it does happen at shows where it's like, you know, what do we do? You don't know any of the songs to sing along to. You know, our record's not out. But the one thing I really want to say about the record, probably my favorite part about the record, Ryan and I wrote "Shaken Out of Sight" and "Sorry for Yourself." The other two tracks Eric wrote, and did not think he was a songwriter, did not think he was like, maybe this doesn't make you sad? Like he like gave it to us, you know. And those became
Our favorites.
they are my favorite tracks. Yeah,
Like
they turned
Adam
out
loves Holding On, and I love
they
Life at
turned
the
out
Top.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah.
And like, and I mixed the entire record as well. Hashtag humble brag. And or it's true, you know, I recorded and mixed and mastered the entire thing. And
It's awesome.
yeah, and the two that are like the first song where I was like, whoa, I made something that rivals my heroes in the music industry. You know, like that I had that
Yeah.
moment was actually the when I delivered the first mix of Holding On to the band. I was like, whoa, I did something that could be like that makes me feel like, you know, I'm getting there, you know, wherever it is, like
Yeah.
I'm getting there, you know, as an engineer and producer and stuff. So but yeah, Eric's songs turned out to be my favorite. They're the best. You're the best, Eric.
Yes.
Chuck,
The underdog out of here. He's like, hey guys, I wrote some songs. You can either take it or leave it, whatever. And you
Yeah,
look at him and you're like, whoa, like,
yeah,
why were you sitting on us for so long, bro? Like,
totally. Yeah, Ryan and I are like, we don't need to write anymore. Eric can just write our songs for us. We can just, we'll just record them, and Ryan and I will sing them. But it's Eric's world, and we're just living in it, man. So
right? Yeah.
yeah.
His POV, like, how is that though? Like for your standpoint, Eric, like when you wrote those songs, like, was it really just like the whole process of like, okay, well, I wrote these, like, maybe you guys want to check them out, we'll go from there. If not, it's cool. Or, you know, you wrote these songs and you're like, all right, like these should somehow make their way into Cold Weather Kids realm?
Yeah, I kind of I'm way more timid in that sense with the things that I've like created and written, and just kind of overcoming that, initial fear of like, oh, what if it sucks? What if I'm like, I worked really hard on this and they're like, this is terrible. So that was kind of a weird little hump to get over, but it meant a lot for these guys to like them, because I definitely respect their musical tastes, their musical abilities. So that was really cool and super humbling. Yeah, I can't say the original Holding On was by me, but we did sit as a band, work out some lyrics and things like that to make it more cohesive.
Oh.
Ryan and I sang the bridge and solidified that a little further. So it's not completely me. So I definitely can't take credit entirely. But I think we definitely hit something really cool with what Holding On has become. And
I like that. Like it's like how you're saying it right now. Like I've had some friends like Zach I mentioned before. He's a solo artist. Like he posts stuff on YouTube and stuff like that, and he downplays himself very hard. And he'll send me lyrics. He'll always send me lyrics that he's doing, and he'll rough draft and this and that. And I'm over here like, dude, you have like this serious talent. And we used to work together, and we used to tell our coworkers. I used to tell my coworkers, like, hey, like this guy's like the real deal. You should check out his YouTube. And he does there's a cover he does that like Connor Oberst. Oberst. I know I'm butchering the last name, but like I'm over here like, dude, your music makes me like I legit tear up. I'm like, dude, if I'm having a shit day, like I'll listen to it, and it's like I can't listen to like I can't listen to like the original artist that he like covers and feel the same way. Like it's something about him, how he does his thing, and like he would always do that. Like he'll write stuff out and he'll tell me about it, and he's like, okay, well, he'll sit on it for a while because he thinks, oh man, someone won't like this, people won't like this. I'm like, no, dude, like just run with it. Like the worst thing that will happen is that it doesn't catch traction that you hope it will, and if it doesn't, then you just keep trucking away. Like if you really want it, you're gonna keep trucking at it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I feel like that's kind of a hurdle for me, because I'm the kind of guy that's like, if I want to show somebody something or put something out, like it has to be perfect. It has to be the thing that's going to change the world. And it's like, no, it doesn't. Calm down. Like it's not that big of a deal. Just put something out. But Zach did that same thing to me actually at CIA when I met him. He was like, yeah, I fiddled with a guitar, and then I saw his Instagram after he followed the page. And I was like, wait, he's good. He doesn't just fiddle with a guitar. What? He's singing too? What? This guy.
He goofs around a lot, and it's like, and it's always when you're goofing around, like how you said, if you're always having this like fear and this doubt, and then if you kind of just write something out, you put something together, or even if it's like just a fragment of something, you kind of present it to the rest of the band. You kind of just mess around with it, and you don't take it too serious. And I think it works. It works itself out very well. There's another band that does that. They have strictly told themselves, we don't take ourselves seriously. We take ourselves like we're like a meme band, but like their music is on point. They're really legit with it, and it's very interesting just to see how different bands operate that are definitely heavily influenced by more mainstream music, or even bands that are in the local scene that are influenced by local the local scene itself. So I commend you. I tip my hat, man. Those songs you put out, because that was one of the questions, but literally you guys are wiping out everything, and so we're kind of just having like a powwow, if you will. Like
I noticed, yeah.
I was like, I'm looking back.
Nobody's answering shit. We're just talking.
and the crazy part, I was like, yeah, because you're over here like he didn't answer. I was like, no, he like on all honesty, when you were like Ryan didn't answer anything, I'm like Ryan literally answered 3 through 9. Like the MVP right here.
That's it. Good work, gentlemen.
I've done my time.
In time for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good though. Like I'm very I'm very proud of you guys. Like it's super cool. I'm very excited for this EP to drop. Now just as I want to make sure, because like I put my phone in airplane mode. I don't want things blowing up. Now it comes out tomorrow.
So midnight Eastern time, so East Coast, 9 p.m. here, 9 p.m. tonight, basically. But yeah, it's everywhere tomorrow. You can go on our Spotify right now and even save the album before it officially completely drops, because we put a link to it on our profile. It'll say "David EP out now." It'll bring you to it, and then just like it, like save songs to your own library, and then you got it fresh in the morning. It's right there for you on your trip to work. And not that I want to tease too much, but like super excited actually, you know, while we've been out, like we have our next song ready to go that will be out probably around the holiday season.
Yeah.
So it's already done. It's pretty cool. We're trying to get one more to go with it, because usually when you post or put your music up on stores online, a single counts as 2 tracks, or it can count as 2 tracks. So it's like get the value worth it if we're gonna put some material up. But yeah, it's already coming. It's on the way. We're super stoked about the support that you've shown for Songs We Can't Finish. The stories that you've said in terms of like just getting people involved and getting people to listen and watch us have been super, like we cannot thank you enough for that, because that's seriously like hearing those stories is like, it gave me goosebumps. It's like, that's why we do what we do, and we appreciate the opportunity, man. Everybody has hopes, goals, dreams, and every time that I get to like share the stage with these guys, it's like I get to live out 30 minutes of like one of my dreams. So it's super awesome that way that people care about it.
Hell yeah. Honestly, that's the goal right there. Like, doing shows like this, like I had no idea what I was doing. It's like I literally had my foot in my mouth every step of the way, and I didn't know what was going on. 6 months after having this thing go, me and Lisa got together, and she showed me like what could become of this, and the bands and the opportunities for the bands to have this, and just to really see something manifest for you guys and where you guys are at now. It's honestly, that's a dream for me, just to get to see, like you said, like you're playing for 30 minutes. Like for me, it's like honestly, it's ecstasy. Like 30 minutes go by, and it's like that was 30 minutes. Like I felt like I was living a dream. I'm enjoying myself, and that's a big. If that's anything I can really say, honestly, to wrap up, is like for local bands, don't ever sell yourself short. Don't ever consider yourself a local band. Like, you guys are a legit, authentic band. You guys are pop punk at its peak. Okay, you guys are resetting the bar. Honestly, like I listen to a lot of pop punk. I'm very heavily influenced by pop punk, and it's like when you think you hear something, and you're like, okay, this is what pop punk sounds like, and then you hear like 2 other bands do something completely different. Oh no, but this band's pop punk. It's like, really? Like, okay, I had no idea. And I think like there have been like off branches of pop punk, but like I think you guys are legitimately like the first band that will stand by and say, yeah, we are pop punk, and you play it and you rock it, and I'm like, wow, like it, like this for me,
It's what we
is.
love, man.
Yeah.
All 3 of us, it's like when we hang out with each other, I don't think there's ever been not like a hangout where we haven't quoted or sang a line or referenced a record from the early to mid 2000s, and each of us always instantly gets it. And
Yeah.
you know, dated or not, that's who we are. So it's like, lastly, I don't want to talk down about any band that just shows up to a set and like just plays their music without like tracks or lights or anything like that. But when we think about what it meant to like go to those Warped Tour shows or like concerts or things where it's like the lineup is bomb and you can't wait, it's like we want to bring like that type of show atmosphere, huge sound with like bass drops, flashing lights that get you into those cuts, those transitions and stuff like that. So that's totally a part of our philosophy. And yeah, it's like we definitely don't want to undersell ourselves, but we also know that like in able to get anywhere, we have to be humble enough to be like, you know, give us a chance.
There's a joke I've been saying, at least to myself recently. It's easy to be the best pop punk band in Los Angeles when you're the only pop punk band in
The
Los
only
Angeles.
one. That's right. We are. Yeah, I don't really know.
They've Ryan definitely like touched on it. Pop punk is the best version of ourselves, and when I say like Holding On, for example, when I say like that came out like in a good way, it made me feel amazing when like I mixed that and stuff. The thing was that was the first time I mixed a song or produced a song and it came out, and I sat there and I thought, this is how I hear music. You know, like this is big, this is aggressive, this is poppy, this is really fun, this is everything I want out of a track every single time, you know, like, And so like, and on a personal level, that was that. And like, yeah. And so Songs We Can't Finish is just a lot of that. It's the best version of ourselves, like just doing what we do best, and that's pop punk tunes, you know. And it's gonna come out differently because we have our own flair. But you know, we can't take ourselves too seriously, you know. We know who we are, we know what we are, and we have a lot of fun doing it. And the easiest way to get somebody on board is for them to think that we're having the most fun in the world, you know. And so we just want that at our shows. We want that in the record. We want that in the next record, the next single. We're already working on new songs, you know, and it's tough because quarantine, but, you know, we're doing the best we can with it. So
yeah, you're making the best of it, like you just said. And when you during a time, especially like now, to help remind people like, hey, like the world's still turning. There is still music that's being produced. There is still something to have hope and be happy over. And honestly, you guys have already done that for me, like every step of the way. Like I remember wondering back, like, oh, I wonder if they're doing okay. Literally checked my messages, and I'm like, oh, hey, they sent us a message, like, let's see what's up. And like, you guys have been so like, Lisa and I are very thankful. You guys have, you know, with sending us snippets and showing us what's up. It's like, you guys really care.
You showed genuine interest. That's what's amazing about it. Is like when I'm working on something, because like I do a lot of the concept stuff like off stage. It's like I send it to the band all the time, but Eric is really busy with work. He's got to do what he's got to do, and Adam too. So it's like, who else is into this that I can like pick their brain about? And you were like one of the first people that came to mind. So I was like, I'm gonna get his information.
Thank you.
so cool.
I greatly appreciate that. You know, because like I mean, if you guys seen it, I look at every time I open SoundCloud, I'm like, oh man, I'm really wearing this out. Like I'm playing the crap out of this. Like, but it's cool, dude. Like I get to like seriously, it's you guys are definitely a band where I'm like, hey, you know what, babe, I'm gonna go to the grocery store real quick, and I blast you guys in the car. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take a shower real quick. She's like, oh god, you're gonna be gone for like, how long is their EP again, Marcus? I'm like, she's like, shit, dude. Like she already knows. Like if Marcus is like, she's like, if you're gonna take a shower, like I gotta like make sure I don't I don't have to be in there for any reason, because like, and you'll hear me like. I think the craziest thing I've done, like I'm listening to you guys' music, and she's.
Tell me you've masturbated to our music. Tell me you've masturbated to our music.
Dude. He's like, I mean, I'm not saying I have, but I'm not saying I haven't. Like, like
neither confirm nor deny these.
It's you, Adam. I'll be sitting here, and she's looking at me, and I've done this a couple times around the house, and I'm like, babe, you do realize this, right? And she's like, what? I'm like, you don't realize the words that you say make you a hypocrite every day. And she's like, shut up. And I'm like, I'm just saying. I walk off. Or sometimes I will scream at the top of my lungs. Honestly, Ryan, your vocals are God tier. I will never match up to that, but like I'll do it. And I'm like, ah! And she's like, let Ryan do what he do it, okay? Let's just I don't care, but let him do it. And I'm like, well, okay, well, Adam. And she's like, okay, just let them do it. I love you. Let them do it. I'm like, hey, I get that excited. You know what I mean? Like it's, you guys are, like I said, you guys are the band for me. Like I'm very happy. I'm stoked, and I'm excited for everything you guys are doing right now and what you guys will be putting out in the future to come. So
much. That's
my brother. Thank you, man.
Thanks,
absolutely, dude. Absolutely. So let me see. I think we'll pull it off right there. I know it's, well, at least it looks like, at least on my end, it's getting super late. But yeah. So to actually officially,
I feel like we just had a bro down. I'm ready to go get some nachos and beers,
dude. Right, and then we just carry this over out, you know, off to the next Zoom call. So thank you everyone for tuning in with us right now. This is Marcus here with the Collective Sessions, California Emo Collective. And if you guys will real quick, give us all your handles, all your social media accounts, so everyone that can check you guys out once songs we can't finish is out, they can find you.
Oh yeah, you can find us at CWK Band for Instagram, Cold Weather Kids on Facebook. Got a YouTube channel as well. Individually, I'll let you guys list your own, but my personal one is just Ryan.Scotty, spelled like Scottie Pippen, not with a Y, with an IE. And go for it.
We'll go with Eric next.
Cool. Yeah, you can find me at exploits with an X, exploits of an LA drummer on Instagram. It's usually filled with photos of my wife or the band, and that's about
And
it.
that's it, right? Yeah. And I'm actually my new job. I had to privatize all my Facebook stuff, but on Instagram I am Adam Castlebro, which is a tribute to our Ryan and I's old band Glass Castles in Chicago. So Adam Castlebro. That's it.
I love that. Awesome. Well, again, thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for watching, and you will catch us in the next episode, which should be 8. Yeah, episode 8. So thank you guys for watching in. See you next time.
Thanks, man.